Hello everyone, it's me, the nicest guy in this channel. 'Cause if you're watching this now, you're probably a noob to the situation, or you are still living under the influence of the Matrix, like how some experts might say.
You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
But jokes aside, let's talk about why the normal people of all race and gender are united to hate the Rings of Power, beginning with the fans of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. Context. According to the source material, Tolkien is very specific about the culture that he portrays in his books. To explain in simplistic terms, let me play this clip.
But here's the problem. This isn't your average movie or TV show. It's Lord of the Rings, a fantasy epic set in a prehistoric northern Europe that was explicitly described by its creator as his own attempt to create a mythology for England's. Because of that, it features characters and cultures largely derived from Anglo-Saxon myths and legends, which is a diplomatic way of saying that most of the characters in it are whites. Not exactly ideal by today's standards maybe, but there it is. That's the way Tolkien wrote it. And for the past 70 years or so, that's pretty much how everyone accepted it. So needless to say, fans were a bit confused when they saw elves looking like this, or dwarves looking like this.
So to anyone who loves the original lore, it is as offensive as diversifying a Black Panther movie with Asian, Hispanic, and white characters, whether you consider either set of them to be the victimized group. But however, on the bigger side of things, Season 1 was so bad and poorly written that a great majority of the people who watched it actually left the show without even completing it.
The sea is always right!
The sea is always right!
This was brought to the light even by the mainstream media. But to make matters worse, the cast from this shows continued to blame the viewers using words such as sexists and racists for its failure. Nowadays, that term seems to be losing its value because of the popular morons like these people. So while these experts were blaming their viewers for the ratings, another show which is quite similar to this medieval Gothic theme performed extremely well despite its diverse casting. And apparently, that show is still making Rings of Power look like a joke, as you can see from the YouTube metrics. A perfect example of another show that called Failure Upon Themselves is the latest Doctor Who series, which was completely abandoned by the audience soon after the main actor advised the viewers to touch grass. And let's not forget a media website which literally had to shut down their Twitter account after its racist tweet upon the fans of the show. Let's be honestly practical. If you go with the hate strategy against the majority demographic of any entertainment product, you will not only receive a massive backlash, but also a massive exit in viewership for that content. It is the same for YouTube, and it is the same for the movie industry as well. As adults, we are all accountable for the statements we make in the public. And it is very clear from statistics that a great majority of the Hollywood entertainment industry are straight men who are fans from all around the world. But if the goal is to villainize that audience to please a minority of journalists, then you are waging a war that is inevitably a nuclear self-destruction upon your own product. So if you are a growing writer, take that as an important lesson from these qualified idiots. If your goal is propaganda, then I would suggest making it in a way more pleasable and acceptable for everyone.
Why didn't Barbie tell me about patriarchy? Clearly not doing patriarchy very well.
No, no,
We're doing it well.
At least movies like The Barbie was smart enough to market in the right manner for the right audience to be a great success. When it comes back to the Lord of the Rings story, just like how the drinker phrased it, this is not like a Doctor Who television show. This is a story about perseverance, sacrifice, love, and all the moral virtues of life which the mainstream media has no idea about. It has nothing to do with race or representation, or who gets the most screen time. If the center of the controversy was about virtue signaling, then you should ask the question, why did Amazon spend millions of dollars to gain the rights to this successful franchise in the first place? Why don't they come up with their own stories and ideas if the goal is to make the world a better place? The only practical answer to all this is to milk more money out of an established and successful IP, just like Star Wars and every other stories out there. But despite the source material being available to them, they went all in for the checkboxes for DEI, and they still failed to satisfy their target audience. Well, at the end of the day, Amazon has to answer their investors about what has become of the money they used to buy this franchise in the first place. And Season 2 is their answer to this absolute disaster, with hopes that it will make up for the losses. Rings of Power Season 1 was such a massive flop that the only good that came out of it was a series of memes and parodies like this one.
Salon Selectives presents hair so beautiful you feel like you've just stepped out of a salon. Salon Shine! Salon Selectives!
And this one.
Body form. Narrow at the back for comfort. Wider at the front for absorbency. Uniquely shaped for total confidence, even on your heaviest days.
So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.